Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
What's your name?
My name's Darci Lynne.
Okay, and Darcy, who's that?
My name's Petunia.
At just 12 years old, Darci Lynne wowed the world on America's Got Talent, becoming an instant sensation with her incredible ventriloquism. Fast forward to 19, and she's not just a star. She's ready to reveal something even bigger. What is the big revelation? And how has she evolved since her breakthrough? You won't want to miss what's coming next in her journey. Stay tuned for the story of Darci Lynne's transformation from child prodigy to a true icon, from AGT Star to international sensation. Darci Lynne Farmer was on America's Got Talent, and afterwards became famous. She slowly made her way onto the AGT stage with Petunia the doll in her hand. She was only 12 years old. What happened next was truly amazing. What she did was more than just exciting. It made people speechless. The cute and naughty bunny Petunia sang so beautifully that everyone forgot Darci was there for a moment. What a great skill she had. She did more than just talk to the doll. People couldn't believe what they saw or heard. A girl 12 years old singing opera through a fake without moving her lips? It was almost too good to be true. Her performance was praised by the judges, and the crowd cheered. But when Mel B pressed the golden button, it was really amazing. There was golden powder everywhere, and she was quickly taken to where the action was. Darci Lynne wasn't just a foe after that. She became a star. Each week she showed off a brand new doll that had its own voice, personality, and story. Oscar was a cute mouse who was scared but had a big dream. Edna Doorknocker was flirty and liked Simon Cowell. Every show looked new and interesting. People wanted to be a part of the little world she made on stage, not just the one she played. A lot of people couldn't take their eyes off the last show of the season. Cheers could be heard across the country as soon as her name was called out as the winner. Darci got hearts and awards. People liked her not only because she could sing and do ventriloquism well, but also because she could make them laugh, smile, and even cry. Being the winner of AGT was just the beginning. A lot of people heard about Darci Lynne almost right away. She first played at local talent shows, and then she went on to play to packed houses all over the country. Kids her age went to places most would only dream of going because of her talent, like performing at the Grand Ole Opry and appearing on popular TV shows. It looked better with her on every stage she went to. Nor was Darci Lynne's singing voice or technical skill the only thing that made her unique. Her charm was also very important. She could talk to both young and old people in a real and nice way. People cheered for her, not just looked at her. You felt like you knew her even though you had never met her. A lot of people liked her dolls because they weren't just toys. They were weird and had funny sounds, which made little kids love them. The adults liked how creative and hard work were used to make them happen. The show wasn't just for fun, it made everyone feel a little better. A lot of people quickly became interested in Darci. She had a lot of choices, trips, and interviews. She stayed grounded, though. But how did Darci manage growing up in the spotlight while trying to live a normal teenage life? Darci's life beyond the spotlight. Being a star at such a young age isn't as easy as it looks. After her surprise win on America's Got Talent, Darci Lynne's life was full of cameras, lights, and shows. Under the surface, she was kind, but she was still a teenager learning about life. Fame opened up great opportunities, but it also brought some problems. Darci had to quickly learn how to run her new life. She went from city to city performing for big crowds while other kids her age did their chores and did things after school. They had a lot of rehearsals, interviews, and trips planned for her. It was interesting even if it wasn't always easy. She had to carefully plan how to make time for herself and her family. It got hard for her to balance her fame with the normal teenage activities she liked to do. For fun, Darci liked to hang out with friends, go to school events, and sleep over with other kids. But because of how busy her job was, she often missed these events. But she still worked hard to make time for her family and friends. She knew how important it was to keep those ties strong. School was yet another difficult part of her life. A lot of kids hated tests and homework, but Darci had to do both because she had to work and go to school. She sometimes studied in hotel rooms or behind the scenes of a show. She was still set on continuing her education, though. Even when she had a lot going on, her folks and teachers helped her stay on track. Even though there were problems, Darci found ways to enjoy her teenage years. She loved spending time with her friends when she could. They made jokes about silly things, went to the movies, and enjoyed birthdays. These little things helped her stay grounded and remember that she was just a girl at heart. Darci also liked doing things outside of performing. She liked trying out new hobbies, baking, and playing with her dogs. These activities gave her a chance to relax and step out of the spotlight. Her family was very important to her because they kept her grounded, helped her reach her goals, and made sure she had time to just be a kid. Darci's hidden struggles. The rise to fame of Darci Lynne may have seemed easy to those who supported her, but the truth was anything but easy. It wasn't just clapping, gloss, and eating that made up the story. Darci went through a lot of personal problems as a child while growing up in front of millions of people. Aside from her friendly smile and stage charm, she was dealing with self-doubt, stress, and finding it hard to match her public image with her true self. Among her fights, Darci had the most trouble with self-doubt. She was very good at what she did, but sometimes she wondered if she was good enough. She would wonder if she really earned all the attention after seeing her performances and hearing what the judges and fans had to say. At first, she was shy and self-assured, but on the inside, she was a little girl who was worried about whether she could live up to everyone's high hopes for her. Constantly present was the stress to do a great job. If Darci won America's Got Talent, her life would never be the same again. The victory was thrilling, but it also meant that she had higher standards for every act after that. As the winner of America's Got Talent, she was more than just a young talent today. There was an unspoken pressure on her to always do better work and push the limits of what she could do. Even though she liked having people over, all of those demands were too much for her. Every time she went on stage, she worried that she would mess up. Was she still able to make people laugh? Would they still love her if she wasn't perfect? This was something she would think about before every show. The pressure to be perfect was often too much to handle. Early on, Darci learned that the world of fame could be closely looked at. There are many critics, always people who thought it would be better. She kept having the thought that people would be let down if the next show wasn't as good as the last one. When she wasn't sure what to do, she had to tell herself that it was okay to not be perfect. She wasn't a machine or a robot. She was a person like everyone else. But that knowledge did not just come to them. Darci had to balance her fame with living a normal teen life. Darci had a hard time being a teenager when she was in the public eye. Fame didn't come with a guide on how to stay grounded. Darci was dealing with the pressures of being famous at the same time that other kids her age were dealing with making friends, going to school, and growing up. She was well known and not just any teenager, so she was always up for attention. She had to figure out how to separate her public and private selves. It was also hard to keep up a positive, happy appearance. People always thought she would be happy and active, especially when she was in public. Darci, like all teenagers, had times when she just wanted to be herself, away from the crowds, the cameras, and the demands. It was hard for her to keep her own feelings in check and do what a star needs to do at times. Over time, though, she learned it was okay to take a step back when she needed to, put her mental health first, and be honest with herself about how she felt. As Darci's success grew, mental health took center stage. Even though it was hard, traveling, performing, and going public all the time was exciting. Many times, she was away from home for long periods of time. She was touring several places and trying to live up to the expectations of her growing fan base. Because she was always moving, she didn't have much time. She had to learn how to make calm times, even when her job was busy. Those quiet times turned out to be important ways for Darci to recharge and keep his mind strong. Darci has been honest in talks about the problems she has with her mental health and how important it is to take care of herself. She has talked about how important it was for her to lean on her family and close friends when things were hard. Her support system has been there for her and helped her remember that it's okay to take breaks, and that her worth isn't based on how well she can always do everything perfectly. Her family was there for her through the ups and downs of her emotions and to give her love and support when things seemed impossible to handle. In these tough times, Darci learned how to use her doubt to fuel her progress. She didn't let it stop her. Instead, she used it to keep becoming. She learned that making mistakes didn't make her less smart or less worthy of love, and she accepted her flaws. Behind the scenes, Darci Lynne was just a girl trying to figure things out. She was going through the same problems that any girl her age would, but with the attention of the media. After facing hidden struggles, what changed for Darci at 19 that made her stronger and more confident? The revelation that everyone was waiting for. Darci Lynne, who is now 19, is not the shy girl who wowed everyone on America's Got Ability with her ability. She is now an artist and person who is sure of herself and ready to face challenges and move on to the next part of her life. Everyone is excited about a big news that will happen at this age, which is also a big turning point full of interesting possibilities. One very clear change is that Darci's confidence has grown. Over the years, she has grown to fully accept her unique skills. The doubts and fears that still haunt her have slowly been replaced by her strong belief in herself. Her acts show how confident she is now, and the way she walks shows how confident she is. Everyone who sees Darci sing, act with puppets, or talk to her followers is filled with comfort and joy. The way she treats her job is another clear sign of her growth. Darci has a hand in making her own fate, so she's more than just the show's star. She has a bigger say in the creative process and makes decisions that show how she is growing. By making up new acts and looking into acting and songwriting opportunities, she shows that her skills are much more than just ventriloquism. People who back her are thrilled by her willingness to push the limits, and professionals in the field respect her for it. But the big event that everyone has been waiting for is what Darci says at this turning point. After years of rumors, she has finally said that she wants to improve her artistic skills. By combining her ventriloquism, singing, and sharing stories, she is making something very new and different. Her goal is to put on events that are both fun and meaningful, so that they can change people's hearts in the way she can. Darci has been finding out who she is and what she wants to do for years. Now she's ready to tell everyone about it. She went through hard times as a child growing up in public, which made her become a strong and caring person. She has learned how to balance her personal life with the demands of fame, which helps her stay grounded even as her work takes off. Her personal growth has also changed how she talks to her followers. There has always been a connection between Darci and her audience, but today she is talking more about her road. She talks about her problems, her wins, and the lessons she has learned through interviews, social media, and her performances. Because of this, her fans are closer to her because they respect her honesty and strength. When Darci makes her announcement, it gets people excited about both her job and what it means. It reminds us that every road leads to growth and change, and that embracing these changes can lead to great things. For Darci, turning 19 is more than just another birthday. It's the start of a new chapter full of chances and hope. When it comes to new things, she shows guts and determination. Her story is a powerful lesson that it's normal to make mistakes, take chances, and move forward. People who like Darci are excited to see what she does next as she moves on to the next part of her life. With her skill, determination, and love, she will continue to amaze and motivate us. Everyone has been waiting for this moment, and it's clear that Darci Lynne is just getting started. Her transformation is inspiring, but now, let's look at how Darci is shaping the future with her extraordinary talent. The future of an extraordinary talent. Darci Lynne is already pretty well known around the world, but the best part is that she is just getting started. Millions of people, especially young artists who want to be like her, have been moved by her kindness and skill. She has shown them that if they work hard, they can achieve anything. People were amazed by Darci's skills from a very young age, both in her ventriloquism and in her ability to make anyone laugh and feel excited. She brought ventriloquism back to life, which people of all kinds enjoyed. Darci is one of a kind because not many little kids have such a strong voice and are so close to their dolls. People are interested in ventriloquism again because of Darci's rise to fame on America's Got Talent and other shows. Kids who have never thought about dolls before are now giving them a second look because they can see themselves on stage as Darci. She didn't stop there either. She showed young artists, especially young girls, that they didn't have to follow the usual paths to make it in the entertainment business. Through passion and individuality, her path shows that you can make your own space in the world. Darci has an effect on more than just ventriloquism. Her success now serves as an example for anyone who wants to make it in the show business. She is the face of a new generation of artists who are going their own way. Darci says that entertainment is more than just singing or acting. It's about making something new that connects with the audience in a way they have never seen or heard before. Finding your own voice is what it's about, and Darci did that with her ventriloquism. She made her own by combining comedy and charm with her puppet friends. This made each act different from the usual ways of putting on a show. For Darci Lynne, it looks like the sky is going on forever. She has a lot of options open to her, not just being a ventriloquist. Darci is already making a name for herself in the music business. She has been learning how to sing and has big plans to put out new songs. Her voice is beautiful. Fans can look forward to hearing more of her powerful voice as she moves up in her work. Whether her songs are pop, country, or something else, they will have a special touch that is all her own. Performing arts is another thing Darci is interested in. Because she is naturally good on stage, has great comedic timing, and is a good actress, it's not a surprise that she has been looking for work in TV and movies. She has all the skills she needs to do well in a variety of acting parts, whether they are comedies, dramas, or something completely different. Because she can captivate audiences with her acts, she could very well become a movie star in the future, showing off her versatility in new and interesting ways. But Darci doesn't want to stay in one lane. She has also talked about starting new businesses, maybe even making her own brand, or getting involved in charitable work in the area. She has always been driven to use her power for good, and it's likely that her next projects will involve doing something useful to help the community. But one thing is for sure, Darci is not going to slow down anytime soon. No one knows for sure where her trip will take her next. Her legacy is not just the shows she put on or the cheers she got, but also the impact she had on people around the world. Her future is much more interesting to look forward to because she can inspire new artists and entertainment. No matter what she does from now on, Darci Lynne is sure to amaze us with her intelligence, creativity, and drive. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more engaging content. Click on the next video popping up to dive into another fascinating story. See you next time.